So, Letty, I am so excited and thrilled that you have taken the time out to talk to me a little bit about your experience with Midstrong. You're one of our fantastic online members all the way out in California. So, a little bit different of a perspective than coming into a gym with me, working with me. But it's been, I think, so cool for me to watch from the day you started until now, how strong you've gotten, how the confidence you have. So tell me a little bit about what brought you to Midstrong.
Well, first of all, hi, Julie. Thank you so much for highlighting me today. It's so exciting to be here. And yes, I live out here in San Diego, California. We're not too sunny right now. We are in the June gloom, they call it, but still trying to make the best of it. My name again is Letty Preciado. I am 52 years old. I have 3 children that are 29, 26, and 23. And this last year, I had the privilege of marrying off 2 daughters within a year. So I'm so thankful I was in shape to do that, because if I wasn't, I don't know what would have become of me. So that's the highlight of this year. And what brought me to Midstrong was me feeling just tired. I had gone through a back injury. I was at work and I heard my back pop. And this was during the summer. It was just the beginning of the pandemic. And I remember crawling from my car up the stairs to the bed, and I stayed in bed for 6 weeks. And then I went ahead and I let that heal. And then in November of that year, my back went out again. So I was trying to pull out the turkey from the oven with a bad back, and taking pictures was misery. So part of me was like, okay, Lord, so is this the beginning of the end? And then the start of the following year, my husband told me, hey, Letty, one of my classmates started this company called Midstrong, and I know you've been struggling with your back. You've been tired. You're in the beginning of, I knew I was in the beginning of premenopause or in menopause, and I needed to change something. And I finally said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and call. And I believe it was late spring, early summer that I got in touch with you all, and just chatted about what changes we could make. And that is what brought me here. It was if you want to sum it down, I think it was pain and the fear of what is next in this season of my life. Is this the beginning of the end? And I wanted to see if there were different options out there.
That's awesome. Did you have any reservations or concerns? So after we talked, were there reservations, concerns about, I'm not sure about starting this process, especially being it online? Or did you kind of just go, no, I'm going to do it?
Of course, like anything else, you have reservations because it's something new. I had never done anything like this online. And of course you hesitate because you wonder, am I going to be disciplined enough to keep up with this? Am I going to make the time since my trainer, the gym is not going to be here? Am I just going to end up wasting my money? And all those thoughts go through your head, but I just came down to the point of I needed to do this for myself more than anybody. So that I could just be a better version of myself for my children, my husband, my family, my business, friends. So I pushed through those voices that kept coming into my head of, oh, don't do this now. But I made the determination that I needed to go ahead and push myself.
That's great. So when you started, we did both nutrition coaching and the strength resistance training coaching. How did you feel about the nutrition coaching? Did you feel like it was too prescriptive, or feel like you had ownership of it a little bit?
I think you gave me good options to work with. You would give me recipes, you would give me guidance as far as how much I should maybe be eating, then the number of calories. Well, not so much the calories, but you focused a lot on the protein part of it, which is something that, as you know, I struggle with. I struggle with protein intake.
Yeah.
So that was something that I really appreciated, becoming more aware of the protein part and how important it is for, especially as us as women, to have that protein intake so that we can have more energy, more stamina, and the way it feeds our bodies. And I think more than anything, I became more aware and more in tune with what I was putting in my body. And that,
Awesome.
that made a big difference in itself.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So how would you have described your health and physical fitness before you started training? I know you said you had some back issues, but mentally, physically, how are you feeling before you started, and sort of going forward, how do you feel now?
I think I came to Midstrong very burned out. When the pandemic was very hard on me. I'm in the restaurant industry, and I happened to fall in the population that never stopped working. I think some of our population stopped working, others, we just kept going. And I went through that pandemic very strong, working a lot of hours because of the demand the pandemic brought. So I came in very burned out. There were days that I would eat, other days I wouldn't eat because I just didn't have the time. And I felt just swollen. Physically, I was very tired. Mentally, I was drained. So it was like a total burnout, I just want to say. That's how I came in. And I felt in my soul that I needed to change. I needed to change something. And I leaped into this slowly. I didn't try to become this marathon runner or high impact exercise guru the first day. I remember the first time you sent me the app and the exercises, I only did like 10 minutes. And I was done. And everything was hurting. And I questioned myself over and over, Letty, why are you doing this to yourself? Everything hurts. Like, why? But I started slowly, 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 30. And eventually, almost 2 years later, I can do an hour and a half. And I'm not like totally out of breath. So it was the little steps I think that got me to this point. But yes, big difference from when I started to how I feel now. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too with the app because I have the accountability. I can see when you're working out. I can see, if you're tracking your meals, and then you're also inputting the weight that you're lifting, which is really cool because then the app kind of keeps track of that. So it's been fun to watch, your growth in that too. So you're lifting heavier, you're setting PRs, which is really cool. How has this online coaching program benefited you?
The online coaching for me personally has worked really well because, as I mentioned again, we do have a business. So to me, to be able to come home and just turn on the app or go into the app and do the exercises for that day is very convenient for me to be able to do that. I can do it from the comfort of anywhere. I've traveled and I let you know, hey, Julie, I'm traveling, and you'll set up the exercises for that week based on my traveling that I will probably have this equipment. And that has been super convenient for me. I can do it at the beach, I can do it at park. And I like that flexibility with your app. Definitely very, very convenient.
That's awesome. So what words of advice would you give someone who is considering online training, but kind of sitting on the fence, not knowing whether they should do or not? Like what advice would you give to them?
I would certainly advise to try it, at least try. And I think sometimes hesitation, fear, the what ifs holds us back from trying new things. And definitely give it a try. Be committed. Make that promise to yourself that you're going to be committed to this and that you are certainly going to try it out. And you're going to give it your best, right? And get on that app, work with your trainer, with you or Mr. Paul, see what they can set up for you. Like I said, one thing I really appreciate you all is that I started off at a very good pace. I never felt that I was being pushed or ridden, or that I had that trainer on my back telling, yelling at you, go, go, go. I think more than anything, you all have been encouragers. And I also like that even the little accomplishments are big victories for you all. And even if I just did 5 push-ups or whatever, you're like, Letty, that was great. You did something. And I didn't expect that from an online trainer, to have that feeling that even though you're across the country, I still feel the support. I still feel that you all are there, that you are monitoring what I am doing and what is going to help me physically. So I would certainly say, give it a try. Yeah. You might be surprised how good this can actually be.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I love doing the online training. I love in person too, but I think it's really cool being able to, especially like meet you through this process. And I think it's not just a trainer and a trainee relationship. I really feel like we've become friends, and it's been great again to see through all of your wins how it's also then influenced me. So thank you for that. So kudos to you. You're a strong woman, and I hope more women, take that chance of, hey, trying some online training and seeing it's not a horrible thing. It's a pretty good experience. So.
And I think one thing I noticed, especially here in California, life is very fast paced, and maybe it is fast paced in many other cities in our country, but because life is so fast paced, the convenience of having an app with you that you can go and do this right at your lunch hour, right before work, or right after work. And maybe you don't have to run to a gym to do this. You can do it here. I set up a little gym. I mean, this is where I'm doing my interview from today. This is a little gym set up here in my garage. I just come home and take 10 steps and my gym is here. I don't have to drive anywhere. So it is the convenience of it in this very fast-paced world that we sometimes live in is a good fit for my lifestyle, certainly.
Awesome. Well, Letty, thank you so much for sitting and spending some time with me, and definitely appreciate you as one of our members. It's very cool, and can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Julie, and thank you and Mr. Paul for working with me this year. It has actually been life-changing for me. I feel better. I can do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do before. And I think one of the things that I just finally want to say is this is a package thing, right? You need to be spiritually healthy, emotionally healthy, and physically healthy. And I think those are the 3 things that I strive to seek that, to have the whole package, because it all comes together at the end. And seek your joy, seek to be emotionally healthy, and the package include that also physically, so that you can have a good life. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome.